This is Samantha, and today I want to show you a project that I'm working on. I just came up with the idea a couple days ago while I was wrapping presents. This, of course, that you're looking at on the screen is the Silhouette Studio, and I was thinking about making some Christmas tags this year because when I went to the store, I bought wrapping paper and bought bows, and I forgot to get Christmas tags. And then I had a light bulb moment. I was like, oh, I could probably just make some myself on the Silhouette. And so I wanted to go about it for you guys so you could see how it's done. Since I'll be printing and cutting, what I'm going to do is go on and set my page size to a letter. So you're going to click over here and it's already on page and I'm making it a letter. So it formatted the screen now, the paper on the page now to show that it's letter. So that way when I print it, when it's time for me to put it on the mat, I could just put it on the mat like this. Okay. Over here in this corner, there's tools like shapes and circles and whatnot. So I'm figuring out that if I was to take this square right here and kind of drag it on the paper here, it makes a square. Okay, so I'm estimating that for my tag size, I'm going to want it probably about 2 inches high by 3 inches wide. So I'm going to get this as close to 2 as I can, up and down. Oh, and then I'm going to go in as close to 3 as possible. I think this is about the best I could do. So that's a 2 by 3 right there. Uh-oh. Right? Let me make sure. So yeah, 2 going up and down, 3 going across. And let's zoom in a little bit. So this is my square. Okay. So playing around with it, I think if I wanted to make an offset of this square, I should be able just to right click it, click offset here. And there it is. It makes a larger. So that way when it cuts it, it'll at least show the line here, but it'll do it a little bit wider than that. So off to this corner where your offset tools come, there is what's called a corner and a rounded edge. So I'm going to click corner because we want the corners to match the corners of the rectangle. And I'm going to size it down as close as possible to this square so that it'll be like a little border around the edges. And then I'm going to hit apply. Okay, so now what I want to do is select this small square, go to this button here where there's scissors with a line and it shows the cut style. So I don't want it to cut both lines. So I'm going to make the smaller one a no cut. And then of course the bigger one will be a cut. So we got that taken care of. And now I want to do like a board, like a little decorative line on the inside. So here's these right here, these 2 icons right here with the color lines and these little dash lines. So you can go to color, and if I want to make it a green, or we would need to do a more festive color green. And then if I want to make it dotted line or just a decorative type line, I can do that. Do this, just click the one you want. And then you could also change the thickness of it. So if I wanted it like this thick, and there you go. Another thing we could also do is we could fill it with a pattern if we wanted to. And I haven't had a chance to go on here and add more digital papers and whatnot. So the selection isn't very, we have to select it first. The selection isn't very, what I would think would be good for Christmas. I'm not saying that none of it's good, but like you have that one. As far as Christmassy ones, there's nothing that's really Christmassy. Not saying that any of them aren't cute. Like this would be cute maybe for a birthday or something like that, but nothing really for Christmas. So I do need to get better. I have a ton of digital paper, so I need to just put it on here so it could be sitting here, and then I can utilize some of it because I probably have some Christmas paper, and I don't think there's a way for me to edit the colors in any of these patterns. At least if there is, I haven't figured it out yet. So we're just going to stick with no fill pattern. So once again, I have this solid red line on the outside. It'll be where the actual item will cut. And the dash line is just for decorative purposes. And so now I'm going to add my to and my from. And if I wanted to, since I already know I'm giving stuff to my kids and, my husband, I could probably just go and put to my son's name or to my daughter's name from mom or dad or something like that. But I'm just going to leave it blank. So I think a good font for this would be Apple Chancery. I was playing around with it and I think it's really pretty. So I'm going to click that. And then I guess I'll put it about right here. And I'm going to have to size it down. But there's two. Oh, and look at that. It's actually in the pattern that I had selected earlier. So that's actually kind of interesting. And then I'm going to select it and size it down because that's entirely too big. I could probably do... And actually what I'll do is fill it with a red and then do the line a red as well too. Okay, and then let's go on and put a from on here. So there's my to and my from. And of course it's kind of boring right now without a clip art of some sort to put on the side. So I did go on Google and I searched some Christmas clip art and whatnot to put on the tag. So I'm going to go to my, and I went on and made a folder that just says Christmas tags. And I will do the Christmas tree. So what I do is just drag it onto the paper here. And the bigger the resolution, the better. So I know it looks huge right now on this paper, but it's just a good quality clip art basically. So I'm just going to size it down and put it on here. And I want to make sure I have enough space for what I want to write. Let's put this back like this. But I do want it tall enough where it at least makes sense. I don't want it to be so small. So I could do it probably about right here. And if I wanted to, I could do the two in the center, have space here to write my daughter's name or my son's name, and then put from here and have space to put who it's from. Because, my dog gives presents too. At least that's what I do for him. He gives presents to the kids. So I could put from Tyson underneath here or to whoever from whoever. So... And actually, I might can make these a little bit smaller. 24 might be too big. Let's try 18. Alrighty. And then I guess I could have put... I didn't even think about that. Put a, what's these things called? A colon? To and from. So there we go. And I know you're probably wondering, what is she going to do with this little thing right here? Well, there's actually a tool over here that's an eraser. And I could actually take it and erase it from out here. And I could probably erase it. Oh, well, no, I can't do that. Look what it did. It took away some of my line. So I'll just erase it to right outside the line. And actually, let's see. I'll make it a little bit bigger right here. Make sure I get as close to this line as possible. Oh, I don't like how that looks. I think I'm just going to leave it. There we go. No, wow, look what it did, guys. Oh, why did it do that? Okay, let's just undo it. Let me leave well enough alone. I'll just leave it like this. So let's zoom out. And nothing super duper fancy, but I think it's going to be kind of cute. Let's make it this size here. So I don't think it looks bad at all. And actually, if I wanted to play around with my font coloring, I could maybe do blue instead of red or yellow. So let's do that. I'll show you the eyedropper tool. If you go to the fill color window right here, there's this little eyedropper thing. So if you click it and then you click what you want, and what's kind of cool is as you hover over it, I don't know if you could see the numbers, it'll show the RGB codes. So you can kind of pick, like I could do this deep gold color, or I could do this blue, or I could even do the light blue in the little shimmer part. But I think I'm gonna go with the blue. And then it saves it over here as the last color. So that way I could just click on here and just fill that with that as well. And then the same thing with the line color. I can take that and then do the same thing with that. So that's a little bit different. And once again, you could play around with the fonts and pick the font you want. You don't have to use, I just thought this font was kind of festive-y looking. Okay, so that's one tag down. And what I'd probably do is take it and move it as close as possible to this edge, because I like to use as much, I don't like to waste paper. I don't know if you've seen a lot of my videos. I do not waste paper for nothing. Paper is like a commodity around here. I make sure that I use every single bit of it. Okay, let's move it up just a little bit more so I get in that corner. Okay, and then while I have this all selected, I will go on and copy it, because it's pretty much formatted how I wanted to format it. And at this point, I could just change out the clip art if I wanted to. So I'm just going to press this copy button right here and then press the paste. And the trick to this is, of course, you see it all overlapping. If you make a mistake and grab one thing, it won't grab it all. So I like to get right at the edge of it. And when I get that index finger pointing upwards, I'll press my mouse and then drag it all the way. So there we go. And I'm going to put this as close as possible to that. And now we have two. Now, if I wanted to format this one a little bit differently, I'm going to scoot it over just, I'm going to scoot over just a little bit more. Oh, and of course I didn't grab my to and my from. Okay, let's try that again. Try not to get too over where I grab this other Christmas tree. Scoot over just a little bit. I think that's good enough. I won't be that anal or obsessive about getting it all. Okay. So I'm going to stop the video right here because I think I'm at 15 minutes. I did not want it to take this long, but it did. So I will continue this in a part 2. I don't know why it's taking me so long to do stuff on this thing. Okay, so I will continue this on a part 2 and print them out and show you guys what they all look like. Okay, so I'll see you in part 2. Thank you. Bye-bye.